morning, everybody. It is 8:20 a.m. December 5th. Welcome to my channel. Markets yesterday were pushed up initially, and then kind of like waited for Powell to talk at I would say around 12 something maybe, and just started chopping around. And actually, the market internals weren't really that strong yesterday. And then you had somewhat of a liquidation break, and then that's where the buying really kicked in. And then you just went higher, making new all-time highs once Powell's speech was over. So that's kind of what's going on. I mean, the market's kind of like just pushing up. It's kind of expected during this time of year. That's the kind of the story, especially in an election year. All right. I mean, Christmas, Santa Claus basically is here. It's happening. So that's what's going on. All right. Without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use market profile and volume profile to find structure in the markets, along with supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day. It's my edge to how I look at the markets, how I like to structure data, and come up with game plans. All right. That's my way of looking at these markets. All right. Now, every day, once the market opens up, right, new data comes out. I have to analyze it, put a trade on, and I still owe 3 videos to you guys, trading videos, right? Hopefully they're educational. Yesterday, I had a trade come into about 60.74. There was a demand zone. I'll show you later, and it didn't line up with my system. It was kind of like a 50-50, and I'm really trying to adhere to my system. So I was like, I didn't want to chase it because once I was interested, it kind of pushed up. Then my risk to reward was skewed, so I was like, you know what, I'm not chasing that. And it ended up would have been a great trade, but I've had 2 good days already on Monday, Tuesday, following my rules. So that's just how it goes. Right, this is how it goes. But if you want to check out my videos on my trading videos, like I said, I still owe you guys 3 videos. Um, I'm finally starting to feel a little better, so you can check them out on X at Gonzo719. All right, you can also check out YouTube Shorts. Check out TikTok at Gonzo719 Trader. All right. Now I do try to do this. This week's been tough. Um, just something seems to happen every morning. Either my daughter's asthma or this morning we had something with the couch we just bought. Technician coming, so I was a little later than normal, and we didn't know what time he was coming. So it's just usually it's like 8, 10 a.m. every day. I always do this, but it seems to be 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late. I apologize for that. However, hopefully, if you're new, subscribe, set an alert. Like I said, the next goal is 300. I thank everybody for going over 200. That's awesome. It's pretty special. All right. Now, of course, if you like my content, please smash the like button. You can wait to the end. That would be fine as well. Okay. We're gonna get right into the futures watch list now, and we got 8:30 a.m. jobless claims coming. So we'll see. I'm not really gonna have to look at that live. That doesn't usually um, push markets crazy, but the markets looking like has been looking like a barcode. Horrible. Like literally, I think I want to. It could be the last 8 hours, something like that. It's just been moving like a barcode. Horrible. Volume's pretty low right now, so hopefully, I mean, it should pick up when we open, but pretty horrible price action overnight. Um, Hopefully that gets better, but December sometimes. Mm, I mean, I was hoping the volume be okay, but we'll see. Could improve. Could improve. Now let's go into the futures. Bitcoin is over 100,000, busting through it. 104,460, up 4.53%. Okay. Now that is your Bitcoin. Now the VIX, interesting, is up 1.43%. Only thing I can think why that's up Might be non-farm payrolls and unemployment tomorrow. Maybe a tiny bit of hedging. All right, Ether up 1.46, 10-year yield up 0.63, just being pesky. Crude is flat. They just came out and said that they're not going to do an output, and they're putting off extra output. Um, the dollar's flat, Russell's flat, ES down 0.05, Nasdaq's down 0.07. I mean, this is like the market's not moving. Dow is down 0.08. Gold down 0.24. 30-year bonds being sold. Silver is down 0.52. Nothing is earth-shattering besides Bitcoin and Ether. That's moving. Okay, moving on to the Max 7 Plus. And this is the one. Had it written down yesterday that I wanted to get long coin base. And because of day trading, and I put two other plays on, and it did pull back for me. And I didn't want to chase it. So yeah, Coinbase up 5.17%. That is the big regret. That was setting up. I had that in my plans. Um, but up obviously because of Bitcoin. Tesla up 0.59. Google's up 0.34. Boeing's up 0.29. All right, bunch of little ones up. Now I did, I did also put a play on in GE yesterday. So of course that's the laggard. Why wouldn't it be the laggard, right? And Nvidia, the two laggards now. Well, Nvidia actually had a dividend, so when you get a dividend, whatever the dividend is, it takes it off the price. Um, I'm not worried, but still, it's just funny that the ones I put on and the one I missed is up, and the two that I put on, even though they're both in the money. Well, GE is not yet, but anyway, that's the laggard. GE down 0.60, and Nvidia down 0.23. All right, and AMD. So semis getting a little weakness, but not much weakness. All right, top sector stocks. Let's look at those. We're looking at Walmart up 0.37. Uber's up 0.19. Now, like I said, these are small changes. Now, the laggard, you got United Healthcare, which is nuts, with their CEO getting shot in Manhattan. And you can actually see the assassin, what a silencer, shoot him. Crazy professional, like a professional hitman on camera shooting a CEO of United Healthcare. Pretty nuts. Now, supposedly, the Department of Justice was looking, investigating this man. So, kind of crazy, and this guy wrote something on the bullet. So, what a crazy story. Um, Qualcomm down 0.64. Salesforce down 0.81. Now, Salesforce had monster earnings, and they rocketed up, so maybe that's a little profit taking, possibly. All right. Let's look at the swing trade list. Swing trade list, we got five below, um, up 14.51%. Now, these stores, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, and Five Below, have been getting hammered. You don't follow them religiously, but I know they were getting hammered a lot. So, but Five Below is up 14.51%. MicroStrategy is expected up 9%. Hood up 8.03. Riot, this is the Bitcoin crypto clan. Riot's up 7.18. Mara's up 6%. American Airlines, interesting, up 5.85%. Soundhound up 5%. Bitcoin ETF up 4.32, which is understandable. This is, I believe, Southwest Airlines. So airlines getting love, up 2.93. We'll find out about that later. Donald Trump up 2.38. Supermicro Computers continues to rise, up 2.30. JetBlue, another airline, up 1.98. United Airlines up 1.87. So airlines, Delta Airlines, Dollar General, there you go. Dollar General up 1.53. Carnival Cruise Lines up 1.46. Who we got here? AI up 1.36. ARC up 1.12. And AstraZeneca up 1%. Now, let's look at the laggards. Laggard is interesting. This could be the reason, maybe, that semis are a little weak. Applied Materials down 2.63%. SoFi down 2.33. Chewy down 1.4. Ford down 0.93. That's really the only laggards to speak of. Okay. Now, let's move on to the guts of the market. That's the sectors, okay? Who's leading the pack today? That would be your discretionary. That's your Tesla, your Amazon, your Home Depot. Energy, now look, that's not a leader, up 0.03. That's why this market's like a barcode, right? Leaders, that's not big leaders as far as sectors. Laggards, we have basic materials down 0.01, that's flat. Technology down 0.07, pretty much flat. Semis, though, down 0.34, right? Because we see AMD, Nvidia, Qualcomm, Applied Materials are down. But not like crazy down or anything. All right, that's wrapping up that. Let's move over to the economic calendar. Now, we do have something reported right now. Jobless claims just came out, so it's perfect timing. Let's go to it and see how that shape, that data came out. It looks like initial jobless claims we were expecting 215. We actually had more jobless claims than expected. Seems like the market's liking that. It's pushing up a little bit. We have Fed Barkin speaking at 11 a.m., 11:30 a.m. Okay, and tomorrow non-farm payrolls and unemployment. Fed Bowman speaking, Michigan consumer sentiment tomorrow. Okay, that's what's going on there. Let's look at some news now. Look at some news. All right, let's look at. Here we go. Dollar General stock rose 1.9%. After the discount chain operator reported third quarter revenue that surpassed expectations. Okay. Southwest Airlines, here's all the reasons, folks. Stock rose 2.2% after the carrier revised its fourth quarter revenue per available seat mile forecast upward, citing stronger pricing. Five Below, here's why Five Below. Stock rose 14% after the discount retailer reported better than expected third quarter results, raised its full year outlook, and announced an appointment of a new CEO. So Five Below is getting some love. American Eagle Outfitters stock slumped. So these retailers are really getting hit hard. Some of them. Okay, stock slumped 13% after the retailer cut its target for annual comparable sales growth. Who else? Sentinel One. Okay, now when CrowdStrike kind of like had that big fiasco, people were talking about Sentinel One, cybersecurity stock, right? But now its stocks dropped 14% after the cybersecurity firm missed estimates for third quarter profit. Okay. Coinbase stock rose 4.8 with the cryptocurrency exchange operator benefiting from the gains in Bitcoin. Obviously. Okay. Obviously that's pretty, and that's where I'm like, oh my god, I didn't put that on. Oh yeah, yeah. But you can't always be a winner, right? All right, moving on to some more news. Let's see. As tariffs loom, Gillette razor maker Procter and Gamble sourcing more steel from India. Procter & Gamble has overhauled its supply chain for the tiny, extra-thin strips of stainless steel and its Gillette razors to source from India. A move expected to help protect its margins from any tariffs U.S. President-elect Donald Trump may impose. All right, here's some AI news. AI. Here's some chip news. Semis. Taiwan Semiconductor in talks with NVIDIA for AI chip production in Arizona, sources say. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company is in discussions with NVIDIA to produce its Blackwell artificial intelligence chips at the contract manufacturer's new plant in Arizona. Here's some airlines news. Southwest Airlines, we talked about that. U.S. FDA cited animal lab at Musk's Neuralink for objectionable conditions. Okay. Now, we talked about this. New York police hunt for a man who killed United Health executive. All right. New York police were searching for the man who shot dead United Health executive Brian Thompson in a brazen attack outside a Midtown Manhattan hotel and was last seen fleeing into Central Park. Okay. Let's see here. We talked about American Eagle. Let's see. Anything else? Just want to go over what I saw here. Anything else? Let's move on to upgrades, downgrades now. Alrighty. Upgrade, ConocoPhillips. Okay, neutral overweight. Hewlett Packard Enterprise, equal weight to overweight. Okta, market perform to outperform. Now downgrades. Let's check those out. AbbVie downgraded from outperform to neutral. Ally outperformed to peer perform. Devon Energy overweight to neutral. Okay. Initiations. Let's check out those. Cheesecake Factory initiator buy. Let's see here. Duolingo initiated sector outperform. GE Vernova, which is an energy provider that I have my eyes on, at a buy. Who else here? All right. Now, let's look at price target changes. Like I said, this sometimes doesn't give you the best, but sometimes it does. Target raised. Let's see. United Health Care target raised. Tesla target raised. All right. Atlassian target raised. Snowflake target raised to 210. Oracle target raised. MongoDB target raised. Robinhood target raised to 42. 47 target also. Five Below target raised to 120. It also got raised to 115. Edward Life Sciences target raised. A lot of target raises today. Decker's Outdoor target raised. Costco target raised. Carnival Cruise Lines target raised. Now these are just some of them why it making sense that some of these were moving up. All right, target lowered. Let's do it. Target lowered. Foot Locker target lowered. So here's the retail. Campbell's Soup target lowered. American Eagle Outfitters target lowered. And okay, there it is. There is the prices. And I believe we can now move on to daily charts. Let's do it. Let's start with a good old SPY. All right. So look, we kind of had a little mini 2-day balance. Gapped up, held the gap, pushed up, made new all-time highs, right? Where are we now? 607.40. Pretty much by the close. Okay. All-time highs. Now all-time highs. Sometimes, and I've been a victim to it, it's kind of a fool's errand to short all-time highs. In this environment, December, I generally right now I'm just looking for longs. Okay, because shorts are very short-lived. It's very hard to be short. Here's the futures. 2-day balance, boom, pushed up, and now look. What a crappy price. Look at that price action. Unbelievable. The range overnight is 7.25 points. 7 points. Look how little this range is. Oh my God. It already makes me not want to trade today. If that, I mean, I know it will get better, but like that is disgusting. All right, that is really not great. All right, here's the Qs. Now remember, they've been relatively stronger. Okay, big gap, held the gap. All right, Nvidia gave you a bear trap yesterday, where it pulled back basically to the previous day's close and ripped. Now I did get long that in options, so I'm like I said, I was happy on that pullback. I got long, so that was good. Now where are we at now? 523.20, 523.20. We're pretty much at the highs. Pretty much at the highs. Okay. Now, since we gapped up, pushed up, maybe we have a range bound day today. Digest this move up, right? Sure, we can go higher. Okay. Just we'll have to see. Let's look at the live book of futures. Here we go. See? Another little small range. Now, NASDAQ has larger ranges than the ES, but this is still pretty bad. Okay? Again, we really have no resistance above us. We just have yesterday's highs, right? But nothing above us. There's no levels to be like, ooh, nope. Okay, that's what's going on. Now that's your SPY QQQ and the futures look. All right, now let's look at our triple-headed monster, and we got your 10-year yield. Now your 10-year yield is in this range, right? And it's either going to break back up to test these highs, or it's going to break down to test 3.9. Really have to see it. Now tomorrow, non-farm payrolls and unemployment can definitely move this. Okay, it could definitely move the triple-head monster. Okay, now that's the 10-year yield. All right, I'm expecting this to eventually fall in this area because of rate cuts. Okay. Now we got our dollar. Our dollar, same things in a little bit of a range. All right. Nothing to see here. The VIX, like I said, the VIX rose up a little bit today. See, because we were here, now we're here. All right. But that's no fear. I mean, 13. There's no fear in this market at all. That's your triple-headed monster. Okay. Moving on to the main event. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Get my marker out here. Hope I'm not losing too many of you guys with these different start times, and I apologize for that. It's just some things you can't. My daughter and this thing this morning with my couch, I just can't. I didn't know that when the guy was coming. Um, but like I said, I'm here. I'm doing it. Hopefully, I'm not losing too many of you. All right, so let's look at structure. Actually, we can look at yesterday and what happened. Okay, I want to show you my levels that I had. Okay, so yesterday, what happened? Remember, I talked about this volume here. So we closed here in the overnight open here, right? And what did we do? We took care of that little skinny volume, pushed down, and I wanted to get long here. I wanted to get long here. This was in a demand zone. I had like half of my signals telling me to go long and half of my signals telling me to go, they're not doing anything. By the time I was like, I liked it, it literally went like whoop. And I was like, I'm not chasing it. If I chased it, would have it worked? Yes. But now my risk to reward is now off. So I was like, you know what? I'll wait for a pullback later. And then once I was chopping around, that I'm like, you know what? I'm done for the day. And it kind of would have set up for me later because it did pull back. I had some kind of liquidation break to get to go long. But I generally don't like trading in the afternoons. I don't have a lot of edge there. All right, so we closed up here. All right, so we have yesterday's highs, yesterday's lows, overnight highs, which is like a triple top, and this little baby session overnight. Look at this thing. Look at how much volume is traded at this one price at 60.95. Okay, inside yesterday's range. Okay, most traded price of yesterday happens to be close to the most traded. I mean, the midpoint of yesterday, right here. What do we have there? A demand zone. Okay, and then all-time highs above us. Okay, you can't look much into this barcode. I mean, we are eventually going to do this or this. It's inevitable. Okay, when? I don't know, but it will. Okay, I'd rather it go here because you get a chance to go long. Okay, go there, go without me. Okay, now as far as levels, I'm trying to give. There's not much there to deal with here. Okay, there's not much. And even yesterday's range, 29 points, it was paltry before that because it was like around here. And then at the end of the day, it moved higher. Okay. So let's get right into scenarios because I don't see a ton to be like this level, that level, this level. Okay. Let's do it. Thanks, G man, for understanding that. Thank you. Because usually, man, I'm like 810, 810, 810, and then, you know, glad you understand. All right, so here's our bull case. Okay, we have our midpoint 60.8750 and our most traded price 60.87 about, and demand all lining up. So 60.87 is key. Now this whole area here is demand. Okay, so obviously the top of it would be more important to me. So big volume here. You can see this large volume here, right? All I really want is, all right, go up, come through it, test 60.87. Happens to be the POC. Yesterday, the most time was spent here as well. So I would like to see a little whoop, hold, and then let's see if we can push up, hit yesterday's highs 610225, and see how much we can go. All right, you just hold on for the melt up. And anything in this area, I'll look long. And then you got another demand zone here with the gap. Right now, if the market isn't super weak, yeah, I would even look down to here. I wouldn't expect to get crazy high after a move like that, but we're just such in bullish structure. Okay. Now remember, the most traded price of the week is still 60.62. We're well above it, right? Now, what can happen is 60.90, excuse me, 60.95 might become the next most traded price of the week. And if that happens and that moves up there, yeah, it's bullish. All right. And now, if we can't establish new value here, we might return. Okay. Move to the bear. And I don't have a lot for you here, but I will always have something. All right. Now, what I could see happening. Okay, we know longs and shorts are all piled in here, 60.95. All right. If I am a bear, I could see this move happening. Push up, tap yesterday's highs, come back in, lower high, lower high. Now, if you come through 60.95, you're gonna get it. You're gonna test the 60.87. Like I said, though, demand. It's just like you're fighting a battle. You'd have to like push, hold to really test and try to fill that gap from yesterday and go back to 60.62. Okay. Now, I'm giving you this because it's real. However, I'd probably just be looking for longs if any of this happens. Because, like I said, unless the market is weak, like showing me it's like, oh man, this is bad, then yeah, I can flip and go, okay, I like the shorts. But if it's kind of like, no, it's not that, I'm going to look for long. Okay? All right. Moving on to the NASDAQ. And let's see if structure is the same or if it's different. It's kind of the same. I'll expand this. Alrighty. So, first thing we can do is, what did we do yesterday, right? So you can see the market opened here, right? What did we do? We came down and look, midpoint of yesterday's session. Pretty much held it, right? And the Q's has a unfilled gap here, right? Never went to fill the gap. Okay? So you had an open test drive, right? So Apple set all-time highs yesterday. Microsoft Also, I don't think it was all-time highs, but they set a high. They were kind of strong. Now remember, only thing pulled down was weighing down a little bit was Nvidia's pullback, and then it ripped. Okay, so let's look at what we have going here. Now you can see value is here. Most traded price of the week, 21218. Okay, we're well above that. But look, the volume thin, 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 and now the market has to establish value up here. Okay, it can keep going. Okay, but you need to establish some type of value or the price returns the value. Okay, now as far as yesterday, we got yesterday's highs, yesterday's lows, overnight high, overnight low. It's not as squat as a profile as the ES has. A little baby bell curve here. Okay, we're inside yesterday's session. Okay, but we do have a nice level here showing support right off the bat. That level is yesterday's most traded price, and that would be 214.84. So 214.84 happens to be yesterday's most traded price, happens to be a double bottom in the overnight. So this level with demand is very important. Market buyers, bulls need to hold that. Okay? And then we can melt up more. So, and then you got like a big, nice demand zone here. Another one here. So, like I said, when I have these demand zones that are stacked, it doesn't make me very, it doesn't seem very appetizing to short. Okay? That's when I don't short in demand zones. So I'm just like, if I see something and I'm like, it's gonna go right into a demand zone, like, and just the way the market's moving, right? We're bullish. So you just got to think of the story, all right? So my rule, I don't short into demand zones, right? So I need to see the market weak, but I haven't seen a weak market, all right? So and then there's been a rotation. If you look at sectors, okay, I'll explain it to you real quickly. I think I said this yesterday. There's some seems to be some rotation going back into Mag 7. Some technology stocks, Meta, Google, right? Nvidia was kind of like hanging down at 138, popped right back up over 145 yesterday. Um, there seems to be a little rotation and maybe a rotation out of staples a little bit. Okay. Remember, Nasdaq was lagging. Now it's starting to be relatively stronger. So just have to see. That's the story, right? You got to always know the story. All right. So let's just get right into scenarios because there's not a ton to really talk about. Okay. And for me, it's all about um, it's all about being a bull, really, and waiting for my chance to strike. All right. So demand zone, right? 214.89 is the overnight low. All happens to also be, like I said, most traded price of yesterday. You do have a demand zone here. This really is the key area right there. Okay. Now you have your POC, which is the time the most time spent at a price is right here as well. So you just want to see. All right. All right. You can go up there, tag yesterday's highs. Let's say we come through this most traded price. Okay. Correct right into here. What do you do in here? If you do this and do this, yeah, I'm going to want to get long if the market's not that weak and we can melt up. Okay? And you have another demand zone under here. So, like I said, the gauge for me today was probably be this gap. And as long as we stay above this gap, you got to be bullish. Okay? You start eating into the gap, all right. So anything like this, I'm looking for a pullback. If the market's not that weak, looking for a pullback to go long. Now, if you start eating into this gap, that's probably your last shot. But if the market's weak, yeah, I'm probably not interested. Okay, so let's go to the bear side. All right, now remember, a lot of times you just revert inverse what I said. All right, remember, bulls want to defend this area. Okay, you got your all-time highs right here. We know we have long and shorts agreeing on price right here in the overnight. Like I said, if you can push up, come through, lower high, lower high. If we come through that 215.14, you're going to test the overnight lows, that week low, that 214.89. Okay, now if I was short up here, I'm going to take profits here because now you're in a big demand zone. But you hold on to see what we do. If we can hold, 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 then we can try this demand and try to hit the top of the gap, yesterday's lows. You start eating into this gap with another demand. I don't know how far you can go through here, honestly, right? If you did break the gap, I mean, you'd have to go all the way down to here. I think more realistically, if we came down in here, we probably bounce. Okay, just giving you everything. All right, I'm just trying to give you everything. All right, that's gonna do it for me, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. Smash the like button if you did. All right. Hopefully you could join me every morning. Sit with your boy, listen to your boy, give you the recap, the story of the market, the news, the economic calendar, daily charts, and long and short trade scenarios like I just did in the ES and the NASDAQ futures. Okay? And once the market opens up, new data comes out, I have to assess that and go with the blueprint that I set with you guys. Okay? And of course, then I make a trading video, which I owe you guys 3 of them. Okay? 3 of them. And I post that on my X account, icon719. Also check out my YouTube shorts, right? Also check out TikTok, Gonzo719 Trader. All right. Now we have a plan today. Okay, remember I'm biased long. That's the easier way to go. Okay, so doesn't mean you can't short. All right, doesn't mean that. All right, I just like the easier path. All right, I want to make trading easier on myself. All right, so everybody have a great day. Stay green, stay patient. Remember, no trade is a trade. And good luck to everybody. And I'll see everybody tomorrow. All right.